Shalom. All praises to the Most High. Anoka said, praise be to the earthly mother, the Kahe, the Holy Spirit, in the name of his only begotten Son, Motsah the land, unification to the nation. And when I'm done with this video, guys, I don't see how you're not going to be praising the Heavenly Father, Anoka said, eternal love and kindness for this job that he has given me through the Kahe, the Holy Spirit. When I do these videos, man, it does not take me a long time to make them. And that's just proof that this is, definitely me being led by the Holy Spirit. Now, of course, anytime I claim, any sort of revelation by the Kahe, I'm not saying that my conclusions are going to be correct. I'm not saying that. But I am saying that I'm getting nudged in a certain direction. So just because I make a certain conclusion, that doesn't mean it's the case. Just because I believe that the Most High is showing me something, whatever direction I go with it, that's up to me. And here on this channel, we do things a bit differently. I'm not trying to brag, but I try to do things a bit differently from a lot of these brothers. For one, every single man on this channel is my equal. I don't try to rule over anyone. And even the sisters, I'm not trying to rule over you. I want you to follow whoever you want to follow, on your own accord. You don't need to follow me just because I'm a man. So this channel, it's all about exchanging information. We don't know anything. There's nothing that we know. We are theorists trying to find the truth, trying to grow, trying to be our best. This is about the men who are trying to scavenge through this information and make the correct conclusions, and the women who join a lot of this information together. We are a co-opting team here on this channel, at least, and every voice is heard, unless you're trolling and being disrespectful, telling me what to read, telling me what to do like I'm some kid, then your voice won't be heard. But here we try to be fair, and we try to follow the teachings of Motsah, of the books of remembrance, of these last day books that he has given us, and we will treat each other according to those texts. Okay? So I just wanted to say that little thing because I'm very proud of everyone, who's on my channel. I love all of you guys, especially especially those who, have been patient with me along this journey, because I've had a lot of growing up to do. Every day, every second of the day, I have a lot of growing up to do. I appreciate you guys for sticking through it. But we're definitely on to some drop now. Before I begin this video, I highly suggest that you guys go watch Nima's last two videos. I definitely will leave them in the description this time, because they're imperative to understand the topic that I'm going to talk about regarding Leviathan and Yam and the Euphrates. So please go watch those videos first. Very, very important. Now let's begin. Now we're going to read this. Revelations chapter 9, verse 13 through 16. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before the Most High, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. Whoa. You see, this is something no one that I've seen has picked up on. The great river Euphrates. This has stumped many people because they assumed that the fallen angels, they were all locked away in Antarctica. Now, I don't believe that this is referring to the same place or the same imprisonment. This might just be a different one, a different event that I just don't know anything about. A hidden story of some sort. Greek mythology. I don't know. I don't know. But John, he gave us a huge clue here with this great river Euphrates. You guys don't understand how crazy this is. great river Euphrates. When has the Euphrates River ever been referred to as a great river? When? I'm not aware of that. It's been called the Euphrates, right? And we're going to get into this concept of the great river. Now, I also want to mention 4 angels are locked away at this great river Euphrates. I'm moving slow for a reason. I just want you to remember this because I'm about to show you a clip. And they know exactly what's going on. They know exactly what's going to happen. And they know where the Euphrates River is. So-called river. Let's continue. And the 4 angels were loosened, which were prepared for an hour, and a day, and a month, and a year, for to slay the third parts of men. And the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. And I heard the number of them. Interesting, right? So these angels are set to be loosened at a certain time, at a set time. Now, what do we use for time? We use the stars, the planets, the sun, the moon, right? That's how we know the times. The Most High, he is on an astrological clock, because that's not something that they can change. You know, they can shade up the sky, and that's what they're doing. But that's the most that they could do. You can't change what's in the sky. Now, of course, these demons, they can, move around, like, the stars can move around and, things of that sort. But the Most High is not playing games right now. He's letting people know exactly what's going on. The proof is in the stars right now. And anyone who knows how to read the stars, they're able to teach and benefit everyone else very greatly. But that's enough rambling. Let me show you this clip. And I've actually played this clip before a long time ago on my channel. And I didn't even notice something. But this clip exactly explains these 4 verses. Planets align at a certain angle, at a certain time, at a certain date, right? Okay. Something or some ones are imprisoned at this bottom of this so-called river, right? Titans. Called them angels. What are angels or titans also referred to? What is a synonym for both? I think the term gods, right? The gods. Did you guys pick up something? That wasn't a river. That wasn't a stream. That was an ocean. They were released. They were released at the bottom or from the bottom of an ocean. The Euphrates River. River. That's one. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Your numbers for tonight is... Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. What are they trying to tell y'all? This was such a popular movie. You don't think that they were going to have something in this movie? You would think they weren't going to tell you the truth? They know what time it is, boy. Come on now. Let's continue. Now, this journey. Now, what led me to this journey was me when I was reading When the Rocks Cry Out. And he was talking about how the Jordan River, he believes that it is the Atlantic Ocean. And he might just be correct. Right? And of course, that means that if the Atlantic Ocean is the Jordan, then that would mean on the other side of the Jordan or across the Atlantic, we have lands over there. And where are many of the Israelites across the Atlantic? I'll leave that to yourself. And I just want to mention that it is the tribes of Reuben, Manasseh, and Gad. Okay. But it says that I took your father Abraham from the other side of the flood. Now I looked up this word, this Hebrew word, right? Went to the Strong's Concordance, of course. Looked it up. Got the word Nahar. Right? Funny enough, this is the same word that is used to describe the Jordan. Isn't that weird? Why would they use the same word? Let's go back to that. I don't know why I closed that. Because this is the lies that they're about to tell you. They say a stream, right? They just say a stream, but then they put in parentheses, it can include the sea. And it can talk about the Nile or the Euphrates, but it's a figurative sea or flood, right? It's figurative. And they don't even put sea here. They don't even put ocean here. Why? Why do you think? But it says the word literally means a sea or a body of water, right? So there's no specification. It can mean a sea, it can mean a water, it can mean a stream. Now, of course, if the lands were closer, then it'd be a bit more practical. I'm pretty sure the lands are further away than they were before. But even so, we're going to dig on that. The fact that now, or let me dig further, because maybe I haven't proved it to you. Now, this word Nahar. This is all the times where the word Nahar is used. Now we're going to look up river, right? Now, you know about the 4 rivers coming out of Eden, right? And Little Moray, he made a video about this. Excuse me. Of course, I don't necessarily agree with everything he said in the video, but he's definitely on the right track with a lot of things. But what I found interesting is that this word river is used to describe also the Euphrates, right? Now, I don't know what the landscape looked like during the time of Adam and Eve, or Yatesequab and Kawa. I don't know. But what I do know is that the same word is being used for the Euphrates River, right? The same word Nahar is being used. Now, the same word can be a flood, a sea, right? Well, let's look up sea. Is this here? The Red Sea. Nahar is also used sometimes in referring to the Red Sea. But what's also interesting about the Red Sea is that sometimes it's called the Yam Suf, or Yam Suf, which means a sea of reeds. Now, no one knows what it is, and neither do I, but we're going to make some theories. But I just found this interesting that they use even the word Nahar in place of Yam, because Yam also means sea, and we're going to get into that as well. But sea, it can also be talking about a sea. See, even the river Euphrates, even to the utmost sea. Right? Actually, no, I think this is still Yam. My bad. I think this is a river here. Okay, I messed up there. So forget sea. No, sea is not talking about Nahar. I apologize for that. But we're going to get into that because sea, it means Yam. But we're going to get now into flood, I believe. And it talks about your fathers dwell on the other side of the flood, right? There was something else I wanted to look into. I cannot remember. I cannot remember, bro. Can't remember. I'm sorry. There was something here. I might remember afterward. But my point is that it can be used for a sea or a flood or a river. Nahar, that this is a pretty broad term. But Yam just means sea. See, it's almost like a Nahar can talk about a sea, but a Nahar can talk about a sea, river, or flood, but Yam just specifically talks about a sea. So it's almost like the difference between large, just saying body of water, and ocean. So a body of water can mean a sea, a river, a lake, or an ocean. But body of water can also, but ocean wouldn't be talking about a sea, a river, and etc. I hope you guys are following me. I'm a bit scatterbrained right now because I'm thinking about a lot of the things that, I'm thinking about right now regarding this. Let's get into this. It said, this is what is this? I think this is Psalm chapter 66, verse 6. He turned the sea into dry land, and they went through the flood on foot. Whoa, what is he talking about? He's talking about the Red Sea. This is the word he uses Yam. This is what I was talking about before. So he turned the Yam into dry land, and they went through the Nahar. So Nahar can refer to some sort of sea, right? Now, we already know that the Mediterranean Sea is not a great sea. It's not a great sea. That is a evaporating sea that is man-made. That was made probably by Samson, who opened the Straits of Gibraltar, or the Straits of Hercules. He was Hercules. Samson was Hercules. That's why it's probably called the Straits of Hercules. And Hercules opened the Straits of Gibraltar. So there you go. Anyway, let's keep moving because I have a lot. I'm not reaching. I'm telling you. I don't know why I'm here, but this is another reference to the Great Sea. Let me see. No, that's not where I want to go to. So we're going to get into the concept of the ancient Canaanite religion, and one of their gods was Yam. Now you'll understand that this word became a staple in, the Hebrew language. And I found, the Motsah really showed me a lot of things. But we don't really know who Canaan is. We don't really know. Well, most people don't really know. But I'll tell you this. He's not one of the sons of Ham. He's not. Now, Yam. This is where it gets very crazy. He is a formidable deity who rules the ocean with his pet serpent, Lotan, and lets loose with storms whenever he loses his temper. Now, the concept of Yam and Baal, they're pretty much the same thing, but they're just like in two different personalities or, something of the sort. Because a lot of these stories are retellings of old stories. They fuse characters together, they separate them, make them into two separate ones. That's just what they do for storytelling, right? That's just their thing. Now we're going to look up what does the name Yam mean, because this turned into a word in Hebrew, a word that the Hebrews use, and we're also going to get into Lotan, which is the craziest thing probably of this whole video that I'm doing. Let's see. Yam. It means sea, and they try to attribute it to west, but it's talking about the south, a southern sea, and the reason why I know that is because Yemen is the direction for the south. Yemen, that's what the country Yemen is named after. It's named after the country of the south. Right? And they try to add their southwest or whatever, But they have like 3 different directions for Yemen because they're trying to confuse people. One is west, one is east, and one is south. Like, what the hell is all that? And I found this interesting because Ben Yamin means sons of the south, pretty much. And I think I went over in one of the videos that the lands of Benjamin sunk, and the lands of Benjamin are located in the south. All this stuff gets very interesting, very juicy. So I don't really know which way the Jordan is. If the Jordan is actually the Pacific and the Euphrates is actually the Atlantic, but it's one of the two. I believe it's one of the two. Or maybe the Euphrates is the Amazon. Maybe the Euphrates is the Mississippi River. I don't know. Let's keep going. So what else I want to show you? Yes, right here. This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 42. The queen of the south shall rise up in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it. For she came from the uttermost parts of the earth to hear the wisdom of Solomon. And behold, a greater than Solomon is here. The uttermost parts of the earth. Where could that be? Now, what is Motsah referring to? He is actually referring to Queen Sheba, because she is the one who came to Solomon, right? Now, the Sheba that it was speaking of was not the Ethiopian Sheba, because the Ethiopians, they weren't known for having a land of gold. Not as much as the other country I'm about to tell you. Because there are 2 Shebas. There's one of Ham and there's one of Shem going down to Joktan. Ophir is one of the sons of Joktan. Let me see. Ophir. Now, of course, there's the Africa theory that this is where Ophir is or was. And if you want to believe that, that's cool. But the island that seems to be a lot more rich with resources, or the place that's rich with resources, and from the people of the Philippines, their own oral history, it seems that Ophir is actually in the Philippines. And the Spanish even knew it. This is why I knew they were lying when they came over here trying to say that Peru was Ophir, and Haiti was Ophir, and California was Ophir. A bunch of liars. They knew where Ophir was. In Tomo III, 1519 to 1522, it says that this describes how to locate the land of Ophir. The navigational guide started from the Cape of Good Hope in Africa to India to Burma to Sumatra to Moluccas, all the way to finally Ophir, which is said to be in the Philippines. The Lakios were ostensibly certain inhabitants of Ophir, which the Spaniards considered to be the Philippine Islands before they established Spanish settlements. So they know where it is. They know where Ophir is. They know. Right? But why am I telling you this? Because Hamashiac called her the Queen of the South. Yemen is called the South. Yemen and the Philippines are in the same area. So which way is south? South is towards the Pacific Islands and the so-called Middle East. The Middle East is actually the far south. Right? So there's a reason why I'm telling you all this. Because where does Yam come from? Yam comes from the south, or is referring to the south. So this is a sea god of the south. It means a southern sea, right? We looked that up, right? Let me go back to it. Yam It's talking about a sea. It's talking about an ocean. We know it's not talking about the damn Mediterranean. It's talking about an ocean. The Southern Ocean. Right? I hope I'm building this image in your head. Now we're going to get into this picture right here. Where did they say that the ancient land of the dove was? They said that it was in Australia. So what are they? So these people who wrote this book, they're actually saying, I don't know if they realize it, but they're saying that the Exodus took place in Australia. So I hope I'm building this picture for you. So if Australia is located in the south, and we crossed the Yam Suf, or the southern sea of reeds, what sea did we cross? Are you understanding what I'm saying? That's what I was getting at. And the new land of the dove is in North America, because this is the new Exodus. This is New Egypt. Or Old Egypt, I guess. This whole place is Egypt. But this was established as the daughter of Babylon, while the Catholic Church was the mother, right? And you see this right here. This whole place was connected. This is Australia right here. And on other maps, they call this Terra Sancta, because this is also a piece of Holy Land. Now, how it all worked, did we cross, like, how did we cross? Don't ask me, bro. I have no idea, bro. I don't know, man. But I'm sure that the land was probably closer. I'm sure something occurred, right? I don't know. But anyway, let's move on. I want to show you. I'm gonna go back, because Yam has a pet serpent called Lotan, and he lets loose with storms whenever he loses his temper. Now let's see who Lotan is. This is gonna blow your mind. Lotan, the 7-headed, fire-breathing, croco, dragon, sea monster. Whoa, what does that sound like? Coming out of the waters with 7 heads and 10 horns. Now, not only that, this is the same thing as Leviathan. Whoa. However, legends of him could not be chained. He pops up in the Bible under the name Leviathan. Boom. Boom. Come on, man. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. The daughter of Babylon, Lotan and Yam, Leviathan, and whoever Leviathan's overseer is. Because Leviathan represents Babylon, as Nima went over in her video. Or the daughter of Babylon. Leviathan is the daughter of Babylon. And, we're going to come out of her with great treasures. And as it says, the Most High is going to cut up Leviathan and feed it to us. Meaning it's going to cut up America, all the resources, and feed it to us in the wilderness, which makes a hell of a lot more sense than eating a bunch of abominable meat. Right? Oh yeah, I wanted to get into this because I want to prove that the daughter of Babylon was indeed America and the Catholic Church. Many waters, I believe that's what it's called. Now, this is interesting because Nephi, he's prophesying that many Gentiles came across many waters. He keeps saying many waters, right? They came out of captivity from the many waters. right? Even across the many waters. Now, what does he say? Right? He says, the great whore that sat upon many waters. Where is this great whore? And it is the great mother of abominations, the mother of Babylon. We are in the daughter of Babylon. Babylon. So let me prove to you that also I got more precepts. Don't worry. So if the south is around the Pacifics, then the north must be around Europe, Africa, right? Let's go to this real quick. My favorite book, man. Gad the Seer. I love this book. Love this book. Woe to you, O Edom, that sits in the land of Kittim in the north of the sea. So these directions are still valid. If the south is the Pacifics, and then the north must be Europe. And the north of the sea. The north of the sea. North is Europe. Kittim is in Europe. It's talking about Rome. So we got our direction straight. So east must be south and west must be north. Right? So when he says that he's going to gather us from the land of the north. Oh, let me get that as well. Gather. Let me just see synonym, right? Because that's the easiest way to find it in Isaiah. Oh yeah, it was this one. Behold, these shall come from far, and lo, these from the north, Europe, Africa, the west, North America, lands of Sinim, aka the lands of the south, aka the Pacifics. So he's going to gather us from all these places. Now this scripture makes sense. Now it makes sense. And you can look at it from a different point of view, because north also means hidden. West also means across the rivers or the oceans. And Sinim can just mean all the lands of sin. Right? The Canaanite sin. And as you see, Yam Suf, that's what they refer to as the Red Sea in Hebrew. And they don't know where it is because they don't know where the hell a sea of reeds is, and neither do I, honestly. But if we were to look on Google Earth and look at my, I guess my theory of, where the Red Sea could have been, if it ever loads, I think my theory is still valid. Because look at this. There was some sort of cataclysmic event that occurred, and it seems like this land was connected in this way. Now let's get a little bit scientifical. So if the Mediterranean Sea, if it evaporates a lot, right? Actually, I can't really get into that concept. I have to get into the concept of why people call the Red Sea. Because there's two ways of looking at it. You can look at it as the Sea of Reeds, or you can see it as the Sea of Seaweeds that turns the sea red. You understand? Because I don't see how any sea could have reeds in it, because reeds, they grow in fresh water. So I don't think it's talking about reeds. I don't think it's talking about reeds that grow in fresh water. But this is what high levels of salt can do to certain lakes and things of that sort. You see? This is what high levels of salt can do. So, could this have been the concept of the Red Sea? Well, this only occurs in basins that have a lot of salt in it, a lot of salt water, as well as being very hot. Now, let me actually go to this video real quick. See, I'm just jumping around, man. I'm jumping around. Florida, forgot this dude's name. Florida. Florida. Oh. Here we go. Where did he talk about it here? I think he did.
Within just a matter of years.
So he talks about the fact that these people who live at the tip of South America, he's saying that these people, they didn't wear any clothes, right? Until recently. Then they had to start wearing a little bit more clothes and they had to adapt, but they just couldn't adapt. Why? Because their region was so damn hot. It was so hot before, they didn't need to wear clothes. And they all froze to death because, the region just changed entirely. And they just didn't know how to adapt. They just did not have the wherewithal to know how to adapt. But what's interesting is that kind of makes the case that this was a lot hotter. For you not to wear clothes at all, that means that this land was not just warmer, it was hot. So I'm just bringing that out. Now we're going to get into this. Now this is actually what is in this water that allows, these water lakes to turn red. Now, not to bore you with all the scientific stuff, what you pretty much need is a very hot environment, very salty water. It has to be hot enough for the water to evaporate, right? And this lives pretty much around like salt patches and things of that sort. So it needs a lot of high concentrations of evaporation, but it also needs deep water. And that would kind of make this area perfect for the concept of the Red Sea. Now, could it be somewhere else? I have no idea, man. I'm just giving you my best guess, because it could be just somewhere I don't know about. Right? I looked up red algae, red seaweed, maybe it's talking about that. I don't know, man. I just don't know. But I found this interesting because this only grows in salt water lakes or coastal waters. Right? That's the only place it grows. And even in this PDF, when he's talking about the Euphrates, he's speaking about the Euphrates like it's some sort of like grand, adventure to go over. Because look, for the Jews hoped that all their nation, which was beyond the Euphrates, would have raised an insurrection together with them. So it's almost as if the Jews had people over the Jordan as well as the Euphrates, right? That's why I don't know which one is which. Not yet, at least. I have to study it a bit more. But, that's pretty much all I have. Let me know what you guys think. Just let me know. I don't have all the answers, man. Far from it. I don't know. I hope I've made a good case, though. And I hope you guys will study this out. I hope you guys will tell me what you guys think regarding what I've showed you or what I've shared with you. Have a blessed day. Shalom. Selah Kala.